What's up, everyone? I'm Ashley Smashley. In this video, we are going to be talking about toxic positivity and the false light prophets that have been running rampant in the spiritual community. If you're new to my channel, you're going to want to smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications because we are just getting started over here, baby. Your girl is going to blow up, and you're going to want to be here to watch it all go down. It is getting real, okay? Now, let's get into it. Toxic positivity and the false light prophets. I've been talking about this a little bit in my other videos, so I definitely wanted to make a video and talk about what is going on with the false light prophets in the spiritual community. First, we must understand that Earth was created to experience the darkness. From a higher state of consciousness, you understand that literally every single thing, no matter how evil or dark that goes on in this planet, no matter how negative one might label it, it was planned to happen. From a higher state of consciousness, you would understand this, okay? That the duality doesn't really exist in the higher realms, okay? This is all God's creation. Every single person that appears in form and every single living being and anything, literally anything and everything that goes on this planet is God appearing in form, having a human experience. There is nowhere else in existence that we get to feel low frequency emotions. We're not calling them negative emotions, okay? They are just low frequency emotions. Our emotions are energy. Some of them vibrate at a lower frequency and some of them vibrate at a higher frequency. And there is a scale of consciousness that by David Hawkins, I think it was, put it in one of his books. If you look that up, you will see the different vibrational frequency all the way from like victimhood and shame and guilt up to like authenticity and unconditional love. All right, so how this works. We experience negative emotions, and when we are children or on our, like if we don't learn how to process them properly as a child, these low frequency emotions get stuck in our body and in our energetic body and our emotional body, and we are carrying around the dense energy from these low frequency emotions. These low frequency emotions, the energy to get that out of your field, you must acknowledge it and process it and release it properly. Okay, so when we see a false light prophet is somebody who is like good vibes only, unconditional love and light. Let's ignore the negative emotions. Let's not feel our negative emotions and just think better thoughts. And every single time you do that, when you are triggered, that is an indication of the low frequency emotion that you have in your field. And then you think a different thought or you do something to make yourself not feel that emotion, you keep that energy stuck in your field. Okay, and that is the false light. All right, you are carrying around a bunch of dense energy in your field and pretending to be unconditional love and light. And guess what? If you don't love the dark, then you are loving with condition. Okay, that is not unconditional love if you expect the dark to evolve into the light before you can love it. I think a lot of this stems from the Law of Attraction teachings by Esther Hicks and Abraham Hicks. I made a video just on that. I will link it in the description below, but you can go watch that video. And a lot of her teachings for over 30 years, she's been saying you just think a better thought. Whenever something low vibrational comes up, you think a better thought, right? But now she's completely changed what she says about that. She says if there's a negative emotion attached to your thought, you must process the negative emotion. You must sit with it and feel it. And she gives her own little process on how to do that. And I have linked some videos from her own words that you can go listen to. But that's the thing. For over 30 years, she has been claiming that if you just think a better thought, that you will still raise your vibration. And now she's saying, no, that's not. She realized it's not how it works, okay? And guess what? Esther Hicks, she grew up in a happy, loving home, so she didn't have a lot of the experiences that many other people have. And so as she channels Abraham, who is never incarnated as a human, right? She's channeling through the perception of Esther's a belief system, right? So for Esther, it's a little different because she had she got the love and attention and like the emotional security that she needed as a child, which many and most people in the world today are not getting, right? We are carrying around a bunch of low vibrational energy. The only way to release that energy is to acknowledge it and process it and release it properly. Okay, you cannot ignore the low frequency energy from the low frequency emotions and expect to raise your vibration. And you will see this a lot with these false light prophets. Okay, I've been in the spiritual community for a while now. I've been doing the work, the real energetic spiritual work, for maybe like 4 or 5 years. Okay, and once you get into this and you are actually processing and releasing these frequencies and allowing yourself to feel them, you become sensitive to these frequencies and you can see them and sense them in other people's fields. So what you will see is all these people that are claiming love and light, that are saying, oh, just raise your vibration and think better thoughts, but they're carrying a whole field of low frequency emotions that are just unprocessed dense energy, carrying them around in their field. And then people that have done the work and have felt the vibration, we can sense that. You can't hide vibration. Okay, you can lie and you can pretend, and in your head you can be delusional and think that you're raising your vibration, but you're not. You are a false light prophet. If you ignore the negative, you don't want to focus on anything negative or bad that goes on planet Earth, you are a false light prophet. Because guess what? All of the most darkest negative things that you could possibly think of that goes on this earth, it's all God. It's all God appearing in form. It's all part of the divine plan. To raise the collective frequency, we must focus on raising our own frequency. And to raise your own frequency, you must process the low frequency energy. And that means sitting and feeling those emotions, not love and lighting them, not thinking better thoughts, not distracting them. There are countless ways that people distract themselves from feeling their emotions. All the way, all the normal things that we do to numb ourselves, or, drugs, alcohol, sex, shopping, gambling, eating. That's a big one, okay? Scrolling on social media, even setting goals and cleaning and going to the gym and, just keeping too busy, being hyper productive. Literally everything can be a distraction from feeling your emotions. It's about becoming self-aware. When you have an emotional trigger, every single trigger is insight into your shadow. So once you do the shadow work and you ascend beyond the law of attraction, you will look back and you'll be like, oh, right. That is the false light. Pretending low frequency stuff doesn't exist is the false light. So if you want to be part of raising the collective frequency, focus on raising your own frequency first. You don't have to pretend that you're beyond where you're at, okay? Because people who are in it and doing the work, we can see right through that. Your little facade, you might fool a bunch of other people, but you can't fool me, okay? I can see it through the screen, your dense energy in your field. And this is not to shame anybody or whatever, but it's just to spread awareness. It's time to clean up your frequency. And you cannot clean up your frequency if you are pretending like you don't have low frequency emotions stuck in your field. So learn how to process and release your emotions properly by feeling them and allowing them to exist. From a higher state of consciousness, you can be happy that you're experiencing the low frequency emotions. Okay? You can be rage and anger and have the worst things happening to you and be so grateful that it's happening and that you're able to feel that, because in reality, you are the spirit that's having the human experience. You're not identified as the emotion. You're not identified as the human. And once you get to that space, in that state of consciousness, you look at the low frequency emotions and you love feeling them. So if you ignore your low frequency emotions and you just think, oh, if I just think a better thought, just know that is because you are in a lower state of consciousness. In a higher state of consciousness, you want to feel, you want to process, and you want to release. I understand what it's like to be a false light prophet, because when I first woke up, I got into Abraham Hicks in the law of attraction. And I thought, ooh, if I just think better thoughts, I will keep raising my vibration. And then the low frequency energy, it keeps coming up. You keep getting triggered. And in that moment, you have the opportunity to process out that energy out of your field. Or you can sit and do your shadow work and process that energy out of your field. Don't ignore it. We have to stop ignoring it. We have to spread the word on how to do this properly so the spiritual community can get out of this smoke screen that they're behind, thinking that if they ignore the low frequency emotions, that they are going to raise their vibration, because you won't. And you will see this as you continue on. If you keep getting triggered, why? Why would you still get triggered if you process that emotion? It's because it's still stuck in your field. Okay? So do the work. Don't be afraid to do the work. And I have a ton of videos about processing emotions and self-awareness and everything on my channel. If you want to go take a look at them, they can help you. But we're done. We're done being in denial, and we're done with the toxic positivity and the false light prophets in the spiritual community. If you like this video, please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.